recording. There we are. Right, let's see. Oh, there was somebody else who joined, but dropped quickly. Let's see if there are any questions posted. Yeah, I believe we could start with no questions yet, but then we could start with summarizing the recent developments. I'll just one last time check the stage for the office hours. Oh, there you are, Smitty. Invite, hi RG, invite to speak. There you are, Smitty. You should be able to speak now, I believe.
All right, you can hear me now.
I can hear you well. Hi.
Hi, how's it going? Pretty good here.
Yeah, great. Thanks. I mean, it's a good day. So, getting excited,
Yeah,
exciting because closer and closer to to the to our lunch or some stuff where people can interact with. So, it's every day brings something new, definitely.
yeah, definitely starting to come to fruition, I guess.
Mm,
I don't know what your thoughts are. I was thinking about this Envision app where even if I took track of like the office hours and just took some key points from them, is what like the marketers want to work on or try to forecast our efforts towards.
yeah, absolutely. Look, whatever makes or brings more transparency, more clarity to the project. I mean, you're more than welcome to go for that. I'm not experienced with this InVision app or platform, so I can't really comment, on what it is. But
Right.
from what you
Well,
describe,
the
I
thing
mean, it
about I
sounds.
like about Envision app is even with like say development on the development side for
Mm,
coders and that, like you can work. It has like prototypes and wireframes you can make, and then the
all right, yeah.
development team can actually go on there and say, "Hey, no, this is not going to work. What you're trying to do," and it's something where
Mm,
everybody could collaborate. Say you're making like a D app for uh, the project, something of that nature.
yeah, I'm just looking it up. So.
But then you can also just brainstorm, collaborate. Like right now I have this thing open where you have like four squares in the screen, and then like each person that's on the
Right.
call can write their different brainstorming ideas
Right.
in there and
Okay,
try to do like
yes. So it's like a virtual like whiteboard to some
right,
extent.
exactly,
Like an alternative to Miro, is what it sounds like.
right.
Uh, yeah, is it
It's
like that?
free.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the nice
definitely.
thing.
I mean, for now we've been using Miro. I'm not sure
Okay.
if InVision brings some more utility, but
I
yeah.
think I don't know. The reason I even started using it was there's a guy named Judah Regev. He's the owner of SmartSwap.exchange, and they have like PDO finance and that, and he's the one that kind of put me onto it. It's what they use for all their development. I mean,
Right.
everybody has their own niche of things,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
whatever works best for everybody, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. I can definitely see it nicely also incorporates Google Documents, right? So you can
Oh
probably,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
so that I don't think Miro has. Miro is more like for like, non, I mean, yeah, so you can edit content in Miro, but you can't really link content from other places, I think.
Right, like you could actually do a presentation live with everybody on it right now, and they can, as you're editing, it'll edit with it.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay, yeah, cool. I mean, definitely. I mean, sure. I mean, if it could be. I mean, a way to migrate from Miro to InVision. I mean, yeah, I mean, the limitation we had with Miro was that, yeah, I mean, it doesn't link to other platforms, right? And that that
okay,
that sometimes you make a diagram in Miro and then you just take a print screen of that and then copy it into your Google document where you write something. Uh, then you don't have full integration between the two. Well, if InVision could bring that, that would be nice, I think. Um,
right, yeah. So I guess whenever we're done here, you can get on there and look at it and see what you think. I mean, if everybody in the group's willing to do it, then great. I mean, whatever. I guess who else is as far as marketing goes, who else would I be talking with and collaborating with and like the
Mm,
DAO group.
yeah, well, I think, in terms of marketing, we've had, couple of attempts to identify, person that would kind of spearhead the process.
Right.
But every time we manage to get to some kind of not an agreement, but to get some kind of commitment from the person. Twice we had two different people after some time just dropping for different reasons that they just one had to basically limit commitment to the project for personal reasons, and
Okay.
the other person, I think, lost interest in the project and then found something else, an alternative, right, to commit into. So you could say we've been a little bit unsuccessful with like finding like a permanent
Right.
person
Finding a
who would.
good solid base to start from, and
Indeed. So I mean, since then, I've been trying to sort of pull these elements together and at the same time doing 10 other things. So it wasn't that effective. But
right.
today, after, I mean, as you rightfully mentioned, I mean, we have scheduled this marketing task force meeting that we invited a bunch of people who shown interest in helping with marketing, and Use Media and RG are obviously part of it. There are a few more that would be also joining also that meeting today. I believe it starts in about slightly over an hour or so. So over there, we would really want to kind of identify, all right, this is the task force that would work with marketing. This is the group of people. These are the tasks. This is the common goal and that we all have, and let's work with that. Until we hit the lunch of the pre-lunch event next Friday, or the week after, right? Friday. So,
Right.
and ultimately, I mean, I know there is a lot to marketing and how to strategize it and how to structure it, but ultimately
Right.
it boils down to spreading the word and getting
Exactly.
higher participation and awareness of the project, essentially,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, hey, if you make a couple decent, infographics, just real simple, short, and get to the point, you just want to draw them in your Discord. That's all you want to do. Then you can talk to them from there and elaborate more on it.
Yes, yes, yes. So while we are on the topic of of the marketing, I think it could also give a good insight to everybody. I have to just find that little one pager that I put together earlier today, and I could just drop it on general channel, so everybody who is listening can also get an idea of like a marketing presentation material that we are working on. It's not finalized yet, but at least people can get insight into.
Is that the one I just dropped to RG?
Where is it?
There's
General.
the one pager, and then there's another revised one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Basically,
dropping.
you went down and you wrote like all the details of what we're trying to present to people, and then from there, you can kind of just
Yeah,
make
yeah,
something out of it.
yeah, exactly. So everybody in the audience, yeah, you can check the general channel. I just took a print screen of a one pager that we are sort of. It's a direction. It's not a finalized one pager yet, but essentially it will be a document that would, everybody can take it and just share it with other communities, other people they know. We would also share it with YouTubers and Twitter, DeFi influencers or whatnot. So to just bring the awareness of the project and also just to have this one solid page that encapsulates the key points of what DeFi is about.
Right. And I mean, me personally, I would probably, with that document, will refine a lot of it to where it's just simple, straight to the point. I mean, you gave a lot of good information here for us, marketers to start
Mhm.
collaborating on a document. But To most people, I think they'd be overwhelmed with reading that much. I could be
So
wrong,
yeah,
but
I agree.
and eventually we should have a
Yeah,
an actual good one pager or two page pitch
yeah,
deck or something of that nature.
I agree. I mean, actually, I think we'll end up having two or three kind of presentation materials. One, the one that I dropped, is probably the target audience for that would be um, people who are managing other communities, right? So we could drop one pager like this to someone who is organizing AMAs, for example, right, on other
Correct.
Discord server, and then they would get the essential information about the project from this. I agree when it comes to like to targeting individual users or participants in DeFIRE. It should be simplified and it should be straight to the point. And it should be very visual, right? Not so much text, but just, visuals, the
Right.
graphics. So I absolutely agree with you there. And the third would be that would be for like after the pre-launch, we would then start engaging with different VCs or I mean partners. I mean try to search for different partnerships that could also bring broader adoption to DeFi
Right.
and and
You
for
gotta
and
you gotta make partnerships with people who are gonna bring liquidity to your network. Otherwise, your network's not gonna thrive.
indeed. So I mean, it just and that would also be probably one of the key information that would sort of stand out from this one page that will be sharing with like individual investors. Would be actually saying that, well, we have this pre-launch event that is coming let's say in about 10 days or so, and over there everybody has will have a chance to basically purchase a piece or a share of DeFi ecosystem, because essentially the DeFi token you'll be buying, you can lock it into the governance slash ownership token, and with that you own part of it, right? You own part of the ecosystem because the revenue stream goes towards you. You decide the direction, you vote. So ultimately, you own partially the ecosystem. Um, the the attraction here for early investors that we all hear today is that you will be able to get your piece of DeFi before large investors come to our project and identify it, because we haven't started really looking for partnerships with some large investors or VCs or funds or whatnot. I mean, that we would like to do because, as you rightfully mentioned, I mean that will bring TVL to the protocol, but it's not yet because that would sort of skew the ownership of the protocol towards maybe one or two large investors, and that we don't want. I mean,
Right.
we want to actually give the ownership and the decision making into, or basically decentralize it, right? So it will sit in hands of many small investors that will have a chance to buy their DeFi token, at certainly lower price compared to those who will like large capital that will come at a later stage when we start addressing those participants, right? In, let's say, in about a couple of weeks from now. So
Oh, I
so
agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, if right now, if the community would band together and actually stick together with people that want to work together, then you have the community who owns the protocol, and then okay, say you have 20% of the emissions left of the DeFi token that's out for grabs, then you try to get some large capital, and it's gonna boost the price of your protocol and then bring stability.
yes, indeed. So that's essentially the plan, kind of, in a nutshell. All right, to now to give a chance to participate to retail investors at, at basically at fair terms, because everybody will be capped at a certain amount, so nobody can buy the whole supply from the pre-sale. I mean, you can only get what you can get, and that's it. And then everybody else, then other people can get their share. But then, yeah, but then once we can demonstrate later on that the protocol is successful, there is interest. I mean, large investors will notice it and they will start coming, right? And then we'll see a large increase in the TVL, and thus obviously uh, the price of the DeFIRE to participate in the ownership will be different at that time than it is today, you could say, right? So
Right. Well, we plan on implementing like swap and all that, right? I mean, essentially, it's going to be like a DAO organized protocol that generates revenue off of different avenues.
correct.
Right.
Ultimately, I mean, yes. So, I mean, actually, what we sort of write in this little one page, I hope people can read it. But if
Well, the containers, like the indexes almost.
yes, they
We,
are. I mean, the difference here is that actually we are what Blaze is doing. It's putting not like assets in a container, but it's actually putting a strategy in a container. So it's not only like asset, but there will be like a strategy built around those assets. So how to optimally how to optimally use those assets to generate yield for the investors.
right.
So, so we're actually saying that we are, rather than just containerizing assets, it's more like about, about the strategies and then different risk profiles rather than just assets, right? That you
Right.
probably
So essentially, we're going to need to find some really good, managers or traders that are, good at managing those risks and creating
absolutely,
wealth, and then
absolutely.
bring them to the platform to, use their abilities.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Therefore will be, starting modest, meaning, well, few containers to start with, and then, keep a close eye and manage them, well. And once we have traction with the couple of them, then we'll be introducing more and more to the ecosystem.
Right.
So, yeah, let me just check if there are some questions. Yeah, everybody listening, feel free to post questions under questions in office hours or just general and just ping me. Oh wow. Ty cannot read. Sorry, Ty, if you're listening, that you can't read. um, let's see who is. Uh, all right. Well, so Smitty, before we get some questions in the chat, what else would you like to discuss?
I mean, not. I don't have really anything on my mind. I guess I'm always the chatty kind of guy when I come in the room.
Which is great. Which is great. I mean, there
Yeah.
was there was
No,
two.
I mean, I see the overall, like the vision that you're trying to bring ever since that first call I had with you there, and that was a few
Mm,
weeks ago, and then I had to finish up on the other projects I was working on. I mean, I see the end game, in your eyes, what you're trying to achieve, and it's a really unique item if as long as we can nail it. It's
yeah.
just a matter of finding the people that are willing to, bring that strategy to your platform and
Yes. Yeah,
uh,
indeed.
managing the risk for investors if they're going to bring
Mm,
their capital here, and
yeah.
informing them of the decisions they're going to make.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Well, it's great you can see the end game because I can't. It's what is
Oh
basically
yeah.
because I mean it's like it's again. I mean it's this how much into the future you can sort of predict blockchain and DeFi space. Probably not all that much, right? So I think we can sort of plan for the next couple of months, and we have some, and I think that's what we have. A couple of months ahead, but then there could be like, a dramatic new development or shift, some new
Oh,
invention, and then,
it's going to change pretty drastically, at least in my vision.
yeah. So
H-
although
how the
although
Earth's going to
yeah,
shape. There's not going to be much life like today. There isn't a year from now.
mm,
Technology
absolutely,
is taking too fast to where
absolutely.
there's no turning back in that
No,
sense.
no, 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 no. That's indeed. All right, Kaz, thanks for the question. We got a question from Kaz asking, will the containers be gamified for people to create their own? Yes, they will be. That's one of the exciting elements we or sort of the new unique points in Blaze we want to introduce, where people will be able to create their own containers. Probably just let's take simple example. If you create your own, you come up with certain asset and a certain strategy, probably in the beginning there'll be no interest, or probably people will be very cautious to deploy their capital into your container because, well, you'll have to build the history or the performance history of the container. But after some time, people see, yep, the container is, is well balanced. It has risk under control. There are no big drawdowns. Value increases. More and more people will be probably joining, and then first with small amounts, but then more and more people see it works. Bigger TVL will arrive. Then,
Right, and
and
then
yeah,
we'll have performance fees for those investors, right, that are doing the work.
oh, that we don't have that kind of details yet. What is sort of you mean like what is their share of the profit? That's what you're asking,
Right,
right?
they'll have some share of the profit. Say you
Absolutely,
come on and you do a
absolutely,
strategy and you're,
absolutely. Yeah,
creating
yeah.
wealth, and
Yes, indeed. Definitely. They'll be incentivized by receiving a performance fee from the profits. Absolutely that. Um, but there'll also be obviously, I mean, of course, once you get external like capital that is not yours, that is coming from other investors, there'll also have to be some mechanisms that control the like kind of like risk managers or yeah, kind of risk managers that sort of oversee those user created portfolios. So even though you have an idea, oh yeah, now I actually changed my sort of the strategy 180 degrees, right, from now on. Um, there have to be a mechanism that sort of prevents that cannot happen, right? That no, you cannot do that because it is not aligned with your
it's almost
strategy.
like a time. You have to have a time lock on the
Yes,
strategy they're
yeah,
going to
yeah,
perform for what they're
absolutely that.
performing.
Yeah, yeah. So there'll be mechanisms that prevents that kind of stuff. But on top on top of that, well, then there'll be all sorts of different parameters. Will be tracking the performance of those user-created containers, and there'll be competition between them. Some kind of, as Cos mentions, I mean, some kind of gamification element. I don't know, experience, ranks, fractions, or whatnot. I mean, I mean, there's so much to explore there, right? To make it more attractive for people to engage with, and that can also then tie to how much rewards are being allocated to those containers. Yes, they will all have their base rewards that are coming from the assets and the strategy that is in there, but then every container will be also allocated a portion of DeFIRE that we have for rewards distribution over 18 months. So there, I mean, the sort of how much is allocated to each container each week, of course, comes from the vote. So the governance token holders will be voting how the DeFi rewards flow to different containers. But then we could mix it with this gamification. So the containers who are, higher in experience, higher in rank, or higher in popularity, then perhaps they attract more reward combined with the vote, for example, right? So there are some interesting elements to explore in there in terms of how rewards can be shared. And a follow-up question from Cass, like Donkey Finance. To be honest, I'm not familiar with that project, so I can't really comment on of what Donkey Finance is.
Sounds
Smitty, do you
pretty
know?
donkey.
Do you know Donkey Finance?
No, I do not.
Yeah,
Is it Don Key or what's the question? I have to look at his.
Donkey, Don, yeah, Donkey. Let's look it up.
Like a donkey?
Yeah, so Donkey Finance allows you to choose different strategies and different yield farming strategies to invest into. So you're essentially putting your funds into a pool that's being distributed in different areas. And then, of course, your yield is based on what happens in those different strategies.
Okay. Oh wait, here I think I found it.
Yeah, I found their
I don't know
website.
what's up with all these animals and like cake and ice cream and popsicles and.
Um, what I've
I I guess that's the way, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't it wasn't very. It's not very. I mean, when I just opened the website without really connecting the wallet or anything, and I clicked on earning, it it shows ROI of minus 640%. It's not very attractive, I would say. So I don't know how it is possible to lose 6 times what you invest, but anyway, um, it must be some a bug in their interface.
Social trading, something like that. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't
I mean,
studied
yeah,
them.
that's definitely where the whole risk limitations would have to be. And also, I was gonna say something to you about, and I know not a whole lot of people like AI, but there's a lot of places are starting to use AI for trading and everything else. I'm sure you could almost do like a set it and forget it kind of bot trading where like these KuCoin bots, they're all right if you know how to set them up at the right parameters. But you could almost get a software to where like certain assets, like say Bitcoin or Ethereum that are more predictable.
Hmm. Um,
You could have like a
yeah.
bot that trades it for the customer or investor.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't have experience with bot or algo trading, AI trading in crypto space. I have experience with bot and algo trading in traditional financial markets. And those bots they work until they stop working. Because and then they work, they bring you money, but there is an event that is not really they're not really coded for, and they keep pushing for a strategy. But if you don't react in the right time to stop the bot doing something that is not really in of the best interest for the investor, but it is just not coded for, right?
Right,
Then
they're not coded for hype events.
no, no, no. So yeah,
Or like when Jeremy Powell, like the Powell, tells you the news about what you already knew about inflation, and it goes choo right through the roof.
yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Ultimately, I would say that, well, why would anybody just a small digression? Why would anybody try to sell you a bot that they claim makes consistent money? Because if that bot would do that, they would just make money themselves with the bot. Why would they need to sell it to you?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's all about enough making more fees with the bots. On the
Yeah, but
exchanges.
but if you had really had like a machine or bot or code or AI that can consistently make money, then you would not sell it to retail traders. You would go to a hedge fund, investment
Right.
bank, and you would
Well, there
sell it.
is there is one guy on I'd have to. It's kind of off topic, but on GitHub, it actually had the fastest bot. It was on one of the alpha guys from Ethereum.
Uh-huh.
He actually posted the bot after he was done because he was tired of fighting this one guy on there. Like they'd always had the best bots, and they would go
Mm,
and battle back basically every week to snipe all these launches and stuff.
I see.
It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
interesting.
And definitely. Um, Everybody in the audience, some more questions you guys have? Otherwise, I will perhaps briefly, yeah, summarize what we had achieved last week and what is sort of ahead uh, in this week and the coming week. So yeah, everybody got whoever submitted their a link, their wallet. They received a Flare token to their wallets. This we plan to airdrop to people every week, so you can just keep registering your wallets. There'll be like a recurring airdrop every week to distribute this early governance token to everybody. Um, we then also had, yeah, updated our websites. Now it has a little bit more information than it used to have. It's still not the final iteration of the website. We have the design studio working on the visuals, on the brand identity. So they are working on that. But before they are done with the work, we decided to sort of update the website with it's just a kind of intermediate temporary version. Um, we got into an agreement with a KYC service provider, which it's a Synapse.io. It's a French company that provides this KYC solutions services to more like at the industrial level. But then they decided to also provide this, like team KYC for our project. So we'll have a collaboration with these guys. I mean, they are way beyond other services that are typically used in for DeFi projects recently. So I mean, these guys are fully professional, registered company and working with with big institutions and large investments. So it is completely different league, but so we are very happy to have a collaboration with them because we also satisfied and content with the way they do they sort of the way they perform the KYC, the way they store data, the way they and when they disclose data is all clear and it's all well written down. So there is no judgment from their side. There is it's all defined. So that's great. We'll make an announcement on that probably today, tomorrow. Then in terms of the what we have scheduled for this week. So we have we'll be releasing an initial DeFIRE DAO setup. So how our DAO will be operating, how it will be formed, what kind of um, grounding principles it will have. We have Supreme Bit who is spearheading development of that document. So we are working on that one, and then we'll be ready to share with the community for the feedback this week. Yeah, we'll complete the KYC as also stated in the roadmap for this week. Later this week, we'll also describe how the multi-sig will function. There'll be multiple levels of multi-sig from the main one, accessing the main treasury, and then there'll be lower level multi-sigs that will be uh, more responsive in terms of more responsive to the sort of daily operation and perhaps not so demanding in terms of how many signatures and how many internal and external parties need to confirm a transaction. Yeah, this week also we'll release an article where we sort of describe the pre-launch or pre-sale process. So when and who and how much and what all will be described in details. Um, yeah, towards the end of the week, also we'll be disclosing or publishing the code for the pre-sale together with the sort of the app where the pre-sale will take place. So everybody who can understand and read the Solidity code will have a chance to go into the code, read it through, check it, test it, and whatnot and then I'll obviously expose all shortcomings if there find any. It's a relatively straightforward code, so we don't expect that there be any issues with it. And then lastly, well, not lastly, but the last item we're working on this week is to have a little bit more detailed description of what Blaze is going to be, how it's going to look like. So all the elements that I mentioned earlier, plus how those
I was gonna say, do you have anybody that's actually like working on design of like the elements of say like you said Blaze protocol, like
Mhm.
do you have people that are collaborating on that? I mean, I don't know if I could be part of that, but I'm the type of person, I have a vision for like the
Yeah.
future of what things are.
Mhm.
I don't know how to
Mhm.
describe
Mhm.
it. So
Yeah, well, so we have some people working or they have drafted this pitch document for Blaze, so that describes how Blaze will look like and how those containers would also look like. So we have drafted a document. You're
okay.
more than welcome to join and comment and contribute to that document.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying I'm gonna say, hey, do this or do that. I just thought it could be interesting to be part of, and if you're
Absolutely.
willing to have me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, the more the merrier. I mean, it's as
It's
you
a
say,
DAO at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is the DAO in the end of the day, and again, I mean, we are working. I mean, Blaze is certainly an innovative protocol. So, we definitely introduce some visionary elements to it to basically be to be different. I mean, there is no point in introducing and releasing to the market something that already exists. We
Right.
would definitely want to introduce, some novelty. So there is an interest generated through that to our ecosystem, right? So absolutely, you are more than welcome to help and to come and help working on that one.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great in time for anybody, out in the DeFi or crypto space that, wants to be a part of something and are willing to contribute a little bit of their time and show some dedication. I mean, you can turn it into whatever you choose to in life,
Yep, yep,
anything.
yep, yep. We have another question from Cas. Are you still there, Cas, in the audience? Let me see. Yes, you are. So the question is very relevant. Where are the funds coming from currently to pay for the KYC and the design studio? Well, the funds are coming from the pockets of the founders. So myself, Glitch, and Phoenix. So basically, all the expenses that has been taken so far by DeFIRE is the three of us who are spending our own money basically on that. So there is no external funding, you could say, to that. No angel investors or anybody behind the scenes that would finance the project. So I hope that answers your question, Cass.
All right. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get off of here and I'll be in touch with Wilder today and a couple other
Absolutely.
guys, RG and
Absolutely.
that.
Sounds great. All right, talk to you.
All right. Talk to you later, man. Bye.
All right, anybody else who would like to join the stage and chat for a while longer? Perhaps post some questions in on the questions in general. Yeah, you can either raise your hands or just write something more on the questions. All right, let's see. Let's wait for another minute or two. Perhaps there is another question coming. Let me check general. No, there is nothing under general yet. I can't see more questions coming. Other questions? Anybody here would like to join from the audience, the stage, and to have a quick chat before we close? If not, then it's also fine, absolutely fine. Well, all right then. Well, yeah, then we could definitely say that was probably it for today's office hours. I think the next is in 2 days with Wilder, a little bit more US friendly time zone than the one I have. But yeah, thanks a lot for coming by and all good questions and conversations. And yeah, take care and have a good day.